Hi, welcome to Apron. Today we're going to walk through how to set up an approval workflow. This means if you have a number of people in your business that need to approve a single payment or a batch payment, it can be easily done in Apron. You can create simple workflows where someone is responsible only for creating and needs to then send that pay run for approval. Or you can have a more complicated workflow that includes accountants, bookkeepers, financial controllers, and directors in the business that need to dual sign off on a pay run before a payment is made. To get started is really simple. Just make sure you've created all the people involved in the approvals process as members in Apron. To do this, jump into your settings and members tile on the first top left-hand side. As you're creating a member, you'll then have the ability to assign them a role. So let's just input some details here and go ahead and continue. And I can then assign a role. Now, the admin role means this person is able to create pay runs, approve any pay runs, and also start the process of making the payment for a pay run. The bookkeeper role will allow this member to draft up a pay run to be approved or be someone that can approve a payment run after they've been assigned. The employee role actually has no functions or ability for payments. Now, if either the admin or bookkeeper role doesn't suit your needs, you can always use the custom role, which allows you to chop and change what this member can do and the specific type of payments that they can actually be involved in. When you've set up all your members, the next step is to create a default list for any approvals needed. Navigate back to the settings and click on Payment Approval Workflows. In this area, you're essentially creating a defined list of people that need to approve a pay run, whether it's just the one person or 5 people. Start by clicking Add Workflow. You can give this workflow a specific name. For example, I'm going to do payroll payments. I can then disable supplier and manual payments. The default workflow type here means that when you add people to the list, it will follow the sequence top to bottom. So if I go ahead and add 3 members, the first person here, so Chris, will receive an email asking to approve a particular payroll payment when it's been assigned. Only after he clicks approve will the second person be asked for their approval, and so on and so forth for the third person. Once the third person approves, it will then move on to the person who needs to pay. Now, the other workflow type is any of. This just means that all 3 users here will be sent an email asking them to approve a pay run. The very first person that goes in and approves it will then automatically move the pay run to the next stage where Hugh here will be asked to make that payment. Final workflow type is our custom, which allows you to either use the default top to bottom for the approvers or the any of and mix that in with having multiple payers. So any of meaning you have multiple people that can pay, and the first person that pays will then automatically trigger that pay run to be paid. I can go ahead and save this workflow, and it now allows me to add another workflow. This is really perfect so that if I have employees in the business that shouldn't have visibility of payroll payments, but I need them to sign off supplier payments, I can do that. If you do have a much simpler approval process where there is just one person, you can have that person assigned as the payer, and no one else needs to approve, as this payer will also act as an approval step. Let's go ahead and see this workflow in action. So I've pre-prepared a batch payment for 3 suppliers. My role in this account is an admin. So after I've created my pay run, I have the ability to either pay or assign approvers. Let's go ahead and click Assign Approvers. And it now shows me the approval workflows that I've created at the very top. If I go ahead and select this approval workflow, you'll see that it automatically updates based on what I've set up previously. If I go ahead and apply this change, it will reconfirm the approval workflow against this pay run and allow me to send this out for approval. For anyone listed as an approver, like I said, an email will be sent out now asking them to log into Apron and approve this pay run. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Here's the email that I've received showing me the 3 bills, the total amount, the approvers, and the payment method. If I click Go to Payment, it would automatically ask me to log in. But since I've logged in, it's taken me straight to the pay run. I can then see these 3 bills that have been created in this pay run. If I decide to, I can click this Edit button and go ahead and change the total amounts if I want to make a part payment, change any of the payment details, or add some commentary against this particular pay run to let people know why I've made any of those changes. The good thing is, even if I don't add any comments, any changes that I made will automatically be stored in an audit log. If I'm comfortable and I want to continue, I can scroll down and I can then see it's my turn and I'm just clicking Approve. The process is really quick and easy to set up, but provides all the security control that you may need in an approval process. Jump into your Apron account and try it out today.